and it had juice. They go see the governor, they go see the mayor, they go see the city council. 25 businesses. So I'm saying if this city has 230,000 black folks, why don't we have a business association? So I went back to those businesses who are now doing business at the state of Indiana. I said, look, I got a concept. I want to start an Indiana Black Chamber of Commerce. And I'm going to do it stealth-wise. We're going to call it the Hoosier Minority Chamber of Commerce. But it's basically black. And I said, I'm going to do a kickoff on such and such date, and I want you guys to bring some checks. You support me for a year, I'll turn this state around, particularly Indianapolis. We got 600 members in the first 4 days. Instantly became the largest black business association in the Midwest. And then we started looking at the Christmas list. United Airlines is putting $1 billion maintenance hub at the airport. The state was building all of these new prisons. The state office building, $1 billion project downtown. No participation, nothing but fraud, and we went after him. Now, the governor told me he couldn't do all this because he was going to get sued for reverse discrimination. So my parting words to the governor was, I think you're going to get sued for straight out discrimination. And we filed a lawsuit. And Jesse Jackson came down and kicked it off with us, held a press conference with us. And the governor hates me still today. He sent her by, doesn't speak to me. We were at an event about 6 months ago, and my boys play lacrosse. Played pretty good. And they played at University of Maryland on scholarship. My little Harry's All-American goalie. And they went to the Final Four 2 years in a row. Anyway. Hey, man, I'm proud. But anyway, Evan By, he hadn't said a word to me at this function, this DNC function. And his sons now go to St. Albans, which is where my boys went to school. And they have a plaque of little Harry's name on the wall there as you enter into the school. That's where they put all of their high school All-Americans. So he looks at me. I said, oh, he's going to speak. He said, is that your son up there on the wall at St. Albans? I said, yes, it is. And I said, next year they're going to put his brother right next to him. And that's all he said. Turned and went away. But anyway, we changed Indianapolis around. There wasn't one construction company in Indianapolis that could bond $1 million when we formed the chamber. Today, they're doing about $1 billion in work in metropolitan Indianapolis, black contractors. The bonding companies were persuaded to come in and review and analyze them. We told United Airlines and Indianapolis Airport 15% of everything that goes on at that airport is going to the local black community of Indianapolis, from the cabs to the construction managers and architects. And we did it through a cooperation of 50 black churches that we were going to shut down. Little did I know I was going to end up in jail trying to do it, but we were going to shut down the Indianapolis airport. But we had 50 black churches put up 50 men each. And we got a demonstration permit, and we're going to go out there in front of the airport, have people sit at the payphones, which they were using at that time, have people go to every toilet and sit down and read a book and do a book report, and hand out leaflets as people came from the gates. Welcome to the last plantation in the United States. And we got the papers printed up, and I leaked out what we were going to do. And the mayor of Indianapolis called me at 5:30 in the morning, Mayor Stephen Goldsmith. He said, Harry, be in my office at 7. We got to end this mess. So I called Bill Crawford, State Representative Bill Crawford, and Reverend Jeter, and got their permission to go see the mayor. And got into the room, and there was the chief of staff for the governor there, Vice President of United Airlines, a few other people there. And Mayor Goldsmith says, Harry, what do you want at the airport? I said, I want 15% of everything, which, by the way, your predecessor had signed and agreed to. He says, is that it? I said, that's it. And he looked at United Airlines, that's it. No problem? No problem. And there it was. All of a sudden, our members, by the way, who were told that if you belonged to the Hoosier Minority Chamber of Commerce, you couldn't get $1 of work at the airport. All of a sudden, they were called up and getting $8 million, $5 million packages all of a sudden. We're best of friends. Success story. The state office building, we got a commitment from the governor's office there. We made peace there. We rescinded the suit. We started getting real business. All of a sudden, Indianapolis Public Schools building 14 new schools. We got all 14 of the schools. And Cheryl Gilbert, who was superintendent at the time, got up before the school board and said, I reviewed it. This system has been in existence for 85 years and has never used a black architect or a black construction manager. So I'm going to play catch up. All 14 architects, all 4 architectural contracts, all 14 construction management contracts are going to go to black businesses of Indianapolis. Gavel hit. We changed that city around, man. People started working. People started flowing. And then what happened, people started coming from the outside. In fact, we didn't have a mechanical contractor in Indianapolis who was black. Cleveland had M&R Mechanical. And we persuaded M&R Mechanical to put an office in Indianapolis. And Robert Fentz moved to Indianapolis and formed his office and is there today, working and very successful. People from Chicago, St. Louis, others were coming to Indianapolis because all of a sudden the most racist town in the country became the most vibrant next New Atlanta. So Mayor Goldsmith had me for lunch years later in Washington, D.C. And he said, I wanted to thank you for what you did. And my biggest accomplishment was bringing the NCAA headquarters to Indianapolis. And the way we beat Cleveland, Louisville, Oklahoma City, and all the other cities who were competing for it was the diversity of Indianapolis. And to that, we owe the Chamber of Commerce. That was a great honor. And that's what I remember, and that's what I try to take to other cities when we do chambers of commerce. We got good chambers, we got bad chambers, weak chambers, strong chambers, and we, like Cleveland, have no chamber. So we're going to change that. We've got about 160 chapters now in the United States. We've got 40 chapters in the Caribbean, South America, about 60 between Kenya, Ghana, and a few places in Africa. And our best new chapter is Paris, France, which I love to go and have participate in their board meetings. And my wife does too. But with the Obama effect, as the Prime Minister of France calls it, it has changed. Sarkozy would not give them the time of day, our Paris chapter, after the election. In fact, on November the 5th, the president, prime minister, whatever he is, called them, and they had a meet to discuss how to diversify France. Now, France had been doing what a lot of these anti-affirmative action people want us to do. They don't want to consider race neutral. It is illegal in the French census to identify someone by race. Therefore, when it's race neutral, that means whites only. That's what the term really is. And that's where France is having a lot of trouble. It looks right, it looks level, but as far as political power, economic power, 8 million black French don't have it. And we're changing that around, with the U.S. being an example. Now, so basically that's the story of the National Black Chamber of Commerce. My position as president and CEO is a permanent position by bylaws. I answer to a board of directors. We have 21 board of directors who have terms that are renewable every 3 years. I sit on the nominating committee, and along with 3 of my best friends. And that keeps it fresh and motivated and moving the same track. So I do have a reputation of having a heavy hand. But if you're my friend, you'll never see my fist balled up. But if you are my enemy, I will ignore you. But if you get in my way, I will deck you. I am a linebacker, Big Ten linebacker, and I don't change my ways. But anyway, let's talk about today, where we are. I'm so motivated to have a president that we have. So bright, so craftful, and he thinks big. Thinks big. We haven't had a president who thought big since John Kennedy. So I think we're going to do okay, but I've got a problem. Got a little problem with the stimulus bill. I had to fight, and I had to use a Republican congressman to make sure